What's up everybody, Tree City West here. Today I want to go over the XenFT calendar export tool. This is a quick little Python script I made back in October, and today I actually needed to use it, so I figured I'd make a quick instructional video on how to run this Python script and what it's used for. So let's get into it. Basically, I had a bunch of XenFTs and I needed a way to track them so I wouldn't miss any of my claim dates. So I figured I'd make this quick little Python script, and what it does is it gathers the XenFTs you have on all 12 chains, exports it to a Google Calendar ICS file, and then you can import it into your Google Calendar and sync it with your cell phone so you get alerts anytime you have a XenFT that's due. It works really well, and here's how to use the script. Basically, to run the script, all you need is Python. Recommend Python 3.0, Web3, Tabulate, and ICS. These are the prerequisites you're going to need. And I have the commands on how to install these prerequisites and how to run the script. So let's get right into it. And the nice thing about this script is you don't need to enter a private key or anything. You just pop in your public address and it'll go search the blockchain for the XenFTs that you own and when they're due. So to demonstrate the script, we're going to be using WSL, which is Ubuntu Linux, running on top of Windows. And this should be pretty easy if you're familiar with running the XenMiner. These are the same type of commands that you'll use. So the first thing that we need to do is utilize the pip command to install Web3, Tabulate, and ICS. And this assumes that you already have Python installed. So I'll go ahead and type pip install Web3, Tabulate, ICS. And it should run through the installs pretty quickly. I already have these installed, so you can see requirement already satisfied. But you'll want to check, make sure it installs successfully, make sure you don't get any errors there. So now that the prerequisites are installed, we can go ahead and clone the GitHub repository. So now we're ready to run the script. First, we have to download it from GitHub. So I'll throw a link down in the description. Basically, you just click on the green code button and then you hit the copy URL to clipboard. And now we're going to go back to our terminal window and we're going to type git clone and we're going to paste that URL in there. So now you can see it cloned the XenFT calendar export, it downloaded the files, and it finished successfully. So now we have to go into that folder. So I'm going to type cd XenFT calendar. And what the cd command does is just open the folder. So now you can see it says / XenFT calendar export. That means we're inside of the GitHub folder that we just downloaded. So now I can type dir to see what's in the folder. And you can see we have our requirements text, our XenABI JSON, our XenFT export.py, which is the Python script, and then the other JSON that we need for the XenFTs. And the nice thing about this script is it's very easy to run. All we're going to do is type in Python XenFT-export.py. And here we go. It's the XenFT export. Export XenFTs to an ICS file and import them into Google Calendar. Created by me. Buy me a coffee. So when you run the script, it's going to ask you for your EVM address. You just paste it in there and hit enter. And now it's going to ask you what chains you want to check. You can hit 0 and it'll check all these chains, or you can do individually if you're only on one chain and want to save some time. So I'm going to hit 0 because I'm on several chains. And now you'll see it run through the script. So it's actually going to check Ethereum first, and then Binance Smart Chain, and then Polygon. And once it finds my XenFTs and calculates the date, it should display that on the screen here. So we'll go ahead and let that run and see what happens. Okay, and then after a couple minutes, it finishes scanning all these different blockchains. And now I have the management menu, which allows me to either export to a calendar file or display the data on screen. So first I'm going to hit number 2 just to display the data on screen so you can see what that looks like. So here you can see all the different XenFTs organized in this nice tabulate table. You can see the different chains. You can easily just copy and paste this if you want it this way. But what I think is pretty cool is how you can also export the XenFTs to the calendar file. So let's go and hit that. It's really quick. iCalendar file, all chains, XenFTs.ics has been created. So now if we go into that folder, that same folder, we now have a new file. So if I hit refresh here, boom, now we have this all chains XenFT.ics file. And what this is a special calendar file. You can import this file into any calendar program, such as Microsoft Outlook, Thunderbird, or even things like Google Mail, Gmail. So I'm going to demonstrate Gmail for you right now. So if I pull up my Google Calendar here, I'll switch it to the schedule view and you'll see it's basically empty. All I have are the holidays. So what I can do is actually hit the plus here on the other calendars, and this allows me to import. So then I can hit this import button and it allows me to import a file from my computer. So we're going to locate that ICS file and then import that into our calendar. And that new file is located in the same folder as the Python script. So I'm just going to double click on that. We're going to import it into the main calendar here. And it takes a second because I have a lot of XenFTs. And boom, now we've imported 394 out of 394 events. So now if I go back and look at my calendar, now I can see I have all these different XenFTs due on different dates. And if I go into one, it actually gives me some information. It says it's the Avalanche Zen Torrent. It gives me the torrent ID number, and it's basically the day that it reaches maturity. So this works really well for me. It gives me a quick notification the day that the XenFT is due, and I can hop on chain and claim it. So it really does a good job of collecting all this information from the different blockchains, putting it into the ICS file, and now I can actually see these on my calendar on my phone. And just for some advice, I don't use this exclusively to track. I also use Zenmon. I also have an Excel spreadsheet, and then I have this just for the convenience, just to notify me. But when I do make new XenFTs or I buy some off the marketplace, I do have to clear out the calendar and then go recreate everything. And then just real quick, if we go back to the script, you'll notice that the Ethereum POW chain failed. It timed out. And that's because the RPC is bad. So what we can do there is we can actually go into the Python script, and then you can clearly see the different chains, the Zen contract, and the RPC. So if you find one that's not working, maybe the RPC changed or it went down, you can actually go to this website called chainlist.org and click on this down arrow on the chain. So say I wanted to do Pulse Chain. I could hit the down arrow on Pulse Chain, and it has all these different Pulse Chain RPCs, and I can come over here and pop this into the thing. So this is a great way to resolve that error. I know I don't have any XenFTs on Ethereum POW, so I'm not worried about it. But if I was, I could go and find a different RPC that would allow that to work. And that's basically it. Just a simple Python script to create a Google Calendar file to make my life a lot easier. I know I get some use out of this tool, and I hope you do too. Thanks for watching. As always, my name's Tree City West. Stay zen.